Alright, what's going on, Bears fans? Welcome back to the channel. Today, we're taking a deep, in-the-trenches dive into the Chicago Bears 2025 schedule, which dropped just last week. And let me tell you, there's a lot to unpack. We're not just going week by week like most people. We're doing something different here. I'm going to rank every single game on the schedule for what I think is the easiest matchup all the way to what looks like the absolute gauntlet, the toughest game of the year. Now, before we dive into the list, there's something super important I want to say right up front. And I want everyone listening to lock in on this, because it's something most fans overlook when they're going through the schedule. When you play a team matters a lot. We saw that last year with the Rams. If the Bears had played them mid-season when they got hot, things probably would have gone sideways real fast. But instead, they caught them early, beat up, and trying to find their rhythm. And guess what? That worked out in the Bears' favor, and they got the dub. So, while we're ranking these games from easiest to hardest, just know that timing plays a huge role. That doesn't mean I'm ignoring the win entirely, but I'm also looking at these teams based on their rosters, their coaching, where the game is being played, and what I think the Bears' realistic chances are. So with that said, let's kick things off. For me, hands down, the easiest game on the Bears' schedule this year is Week 7 at home against the New Orleans Saints. I mean, look, this is a game you absolutely have to win. No excuses. I don't care who's under center for them. Tyler Shaw, Spencer Rattler, doesn't matter. That Saints roster just doesn't scare me. Sure, they've got some veteran talent on defense. Cam Jordan's still hanging around, Marshawn Lattimore maybe, but a lot of those guys are getting up there in age. And the offense? Please, if you're game planning to stop Chris Olave, and that's pretty much it, you're in good shape. The Saints look like a team heading toward a rebuild, maybe even in the running for the number 1 pick in 2026. Add to that the fact that the Bears get them at Soldier Field, with Caleb likely settled in by then. It's a must-win. No question. Second easiest game on the slate, Week 15 against the Browns at home. This is another one where you just have to take care of business. I know, the Browns might have a little juice if one of their young quarterbacks steps up. Maybe it's Dylan Gabriel, maybe Shadur Sanders, or maybe they're rolling out Joe Flacco again like it's 2014. But when you look at the full picture, the Bears have a more stable roster, a better offensive line, better weapons on the outside, and a better overall situation at quarterback. Cleveland is still trying to figure themselves out. If you're a playoff team, or aspiring to be, you don't drop this game. The third easiest? Week 10, home against the Giants. I'll admit, this game is a little tricky from a scheduling perspective. It comes after back-to-back road games at Baltimore and Cincinnati, so it could definitely have that let-down feel. But here's why I like it. The Giants play the 49ers the week before, and there used to be a stat, and maybe it still holds, that teams playing San Francisco tend to struggle the following week. That Kyle Shanahan system, even in an off year, tends to physically wear teams down. So if that Niners front gets after the Giants and makes them earn every yard, that could soften them up for the Bears. Plus, we're playing at home. Crowd's behind you. You got to capitalize. Coming in at number 4 for easiest game, Week 4, on the road against the Raiders. Now, road games are never truly easy in the NFL, but let's be honest, this one isn't exactly heading into Arrowhead or Lambeau in December. Vegas is a weird place to play, but Bears fans travel well out there. It'll probably feel like a home game in terms of fan presence. You've got a new head coach in Pete Carroll, who brings experience, sure, but he's inheriting a team with a lot of holes. The offensive line has questions, their receiving core is thin, no true number 1 guy. And yeah, they drafted Brock Bowers, but if you bracket him, who else do they have? Jacoby Myers? Come on. Not to mention, their secondary is suspect. I think the Bears can attack that defense in multiple ways. And this is one of the road games you circle and say that's winnable. Slotting in at number 5 for easiest game, Week 12 at home against the Steelers. This one is going to have storylines galore, especially if Aaron Rodgers is starting at quarterback. Could be his last game at Soldier Field. Could be his last season. Could be the moment he finally loses his death grip on the city of Chicago. And here's the deal. The Steelers have talent, no doubt. TJ Watt is still a monster when healthy. But the rest of that defense? Inconsistent. They faltered down the stretch last season. Offensively, they've got DK Metcalf now, sure, but they lost George Pickens. That doesn't move the needle a whole lot. And whether it's Rodgers or someone else, that quarterback is going to be a statue in the pocket. If you can pressure him, you could disrupt everything they want to do. Late November in Chicago, that could be a very cold, very uncomfortable place for a team like Pittsburgh to walk into. Number 6, Week 3 against the Cowboys. This one a little higher on the list because it's early in the season, and we don't fully know what this Dallas team will look like. They've lost some pieces on defense. Most notably, Trayvon Diggs and linebacker DeMarvion Overshown are likely out still recovering. Their pass rush outside of Micah Parsons? Not intimidating. And offensively, they might have trouble running the ball. If you can take away the run and force Dak Prescott to beat you through the air for 4 quarters, you've got a chance. Now, this is a potential letdown spot, especially if the Bears go 2-0 to start. Monday night opener at home, then short week to Detroit, but I still like the matchup. You're at home, and you've got momentum building. Let's slide in Week 1 next, against the Vikings on Monday Night Football. And look, I'm not saying Minnesota's a pushover. They're not. But this is about timing and advantage. Primetime, Soldier Field. J.J. McCarthy making his NFL debut against a divisional rival on the road in that atmosphere. That's a tall order for any rookie quarterback. I think the Bears have the edge at quarterback, the edge in offensive weapons, and a defense that's going to be licking their chops to force a couple mistakes. Plus, it's Ben Johnson's debut. I think he'll come out firing. I like the Bears to set the tone early. Next up, Week 16 at home against the Packers. Saturday game. And here's what's interesting about this one. Green Bay has to go to Denver the week before, and playing in altitude in late December, that's not fun. Meanwhile, the Bears play Cleveland at home the prior week. You're more rested, no travel, and you've got home field. The Packers will be motivated. Of course they will. But if you're looking for a game in that rivalry where the Bears could have the upper hand, this one feels like the moment. Sliding into the 9th spot, Week 6 against the Commanders. Monday Night Football again. Here's the kicker. The Bears have a bye the week before. That means 15 days to prepare. In Washington, they're coming off a normal Sunday game. Big edge for Chicago. Add in the motivation, especially for players like Tariq Stevenson, who got torched last year. This is all the makings of a revenge game. We just broke down the easier side of the Bears' 2025 schedule, and now it's time to get into the real meat of this thing. The tougher games, the ones where the Bears are really going to be tested. This is where you separate contenders from pretenders. The Bears will need to be firing on all cylinders, executing at a high level, and maybe even getting a little bit lucky to come out on top in some of these matchups. So buckle up, because this second half of the schedule is a serious grind. Starting off with Week 2 on the road against the Ravens. Now, Baltimore is never an easy place to play. The noise at M&T Bank Stadium is insane, especially when Lamar Jackson is running the show and their defense is clicking. They're going to come out hungry too, after losing key pieces last year, but still boasting a top-tier defense and a versatile offense. The Ravens are built for the playoffs year in and year out, and the Bears have to be ready to match that intensity right out of the gate. This isn't just a game, it's a statement. Winning in Baltimore early would do wonders for the Bears' confidence, but it's definitely an uphill climb. Then you've got Week 5 at Cincinnati. The Bengals are still a force to be reckoned with, even though they lost a few pieces here and there. Joe Burrow is one of the best quarterbacks in the league, and his chemistry with Jamar Chase and T. Higgins is second to none. Plus, the Bengals' offensive line is solid, and their defense has improved over the offseason. This game is a real challenge because Cincinnati plays at a high tempo and is relentless in both phases of the game. If the Bears want to win here, they need to bring their A game and be ready for a physical battle. Moving along, Week 8 on the road against the Bills. This one is brutal. Buffalo is a perennial playoff powerhouse, loaded with talent on both sides of the ball. Josh Allen's dual-threat ability keeps defenses guessing, and their defense is aggressive and well-coached. Traveling to Buffalo in November can be harsh weather-wise, and the Bills always bring a playoff atmosphere. This game could very well decide playoff seeding or even who wins the division. For the Bears, it's going to take an elite defensive effort and some big plays on offense to pull off a win in Orchard Park. Week 9 against the Dolphins at home is another giant hurdle. Miami has built a dynamic, fast-paced offense with Tua Tagovailoa, and a solid group of receivers. Plus, their defense can create turnovers and pressure the quarterback effectively. This game comes right after the Bills matchup, so the Bears could be dealing with the physical and emotional toll of two huge divisional games back-to-back. It's a tough test, but playing at Soldier Field gives the Bears a fighting chance. This one could come down to which team makes fewer mistakes in crunch time. Then there's Week 11 on the road at Kansas City. The Chiefs remain one of the league's elite franchises. Patrick Mahomes is an MVP-caliber player every year, and the Chiefs' offense is explosive and hard to contain. Plus, Andy Reid is one of the best coaches in NFL history. Arrowhead Stadium is one of the most intimidating venues in football. This is a true measuring stick game for the Bears. If they want to prove they belong among the league's best, they have to find a way to compete in this environment. A win here would be huge momentum going forward, but it's definitely one of the toughest places to get a victory. Week 13, on the road against the Eagles, is equally daunting. Philadelphia's defense is a nightmare, loaded with star pass rushers and a shutdown secondary. Their offense, led by a savvy quarterback and some explosive playmakers, can put up points fast. This game falls in mid-December, and cold weather on the East Coast could add another layer of difficulty. The Eagles are championship contenders, and beating them on their home turf would be a signature win for the Bears this season. But it's going to take everything the Bears have to get it done. Finally, Week 14 at home against the Jets. Don't sleep on this one. The Jets have been quietly building a solid roster and improving every year. Their defense is tough and aggressive, and on offense, they have weapons who can stretch the field. The Bears need to be sharp here, because this game could easily slip away if they get complacent. The Jets will be motivated, especially playing late in the season when playoff positioning is on the line. To wrap up, the Bears' 2025 schedule presents a real mix of opportunities and challenges. There are games that are definitely winnable if everything clicks, and then there are those brutal road tests against top-tier teams. The Bears' ability to handle these big moments, avoid injuries, and execute consistently will determine whether this season is a breakthrough or a missed opportunity. The foundation seems to be there with a new coaching staff, young quarterback, and emerging weapons. Now it's about putting it all together on the field. This schedule will separate the contenders from the rest, and Chicago is going to have to fight for every inch to come out on top. Before we continue, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and give this video a like. Your support helps us keep bringing you the latest updates on our Chicago Bears. And don't be shy. Drop your thoughts on the news in the comments below. A surprising political storm appears to be brewing around the Chicago Bears, with wide receiver DJ Moore at the center of a growing national controversy. Sources close to the team reveal that Moore recently referenced comments made by former President Donald Trump about the Bears, sparking a heated debate that has captured the attention of fans, media, and political commentators alike. The whispers first began when Moore, known for his outspoken nature on social media, hinted at controversial remarks attributed to Trump regarding the team's performance and management. While the exact words have yet to be fully disclosed, insiders suggest that these comments were far from complimentary, potentially criticizing the Bears' current direction and leadership. This revelation has sent shockwaves through Chicago's passionate fan base, many of whom are eager to understand the implications for the team's locker room atmosphere. Adding fuel to the fire, the Bears organization has remained tight-lipped, neither confirming nor denying any direct involvement with Trump's statements. However, speculation is rampant that Moore's choice to publicly bring up such a politically charged figure could influence team dynamics and even affect player focus during a critical season. Sports analysts are already debating whether this controversy might disrupt the Bears' cohesion or, conversely, galvanize the squad to prove critics wrong. That's it for this update. If you enjoyed the video and want to stay updated with exclusive news about our Chicago Bears, be sure to subscribe to our channel and hit that like button. We can't wait to hear your thoughts in the comments. See you in the next video.